Listen, we got embarrassingly dumb ways people died. Darwin Awards winners part 10. We got to hit that sub button if we reacting, all right? Let's get into this.
So when the metal hit his mug, he just sunk in place. 100K Holla, chillin' Bahamas. Come home to your crib and throw in your mama.
What is good, HollaSquad? We are the littest squad on the YouTube platform. Today we're back with another reaction. Hey, look, my guy, hold up. My guy Jay done slid through here, and he said we got to react to this, all right? Now, when I seen the title, Embarrassingly Dumb Ways People Die, I was intrigued. But the fact that it's called the Darwin Awards, I like that because natural selection, Darwin. Hey, look, squad, listen, if you still in school, I'm giving you free passes to the test. Darwin, Charles Darwin, natural selection, all right? When the teacher asks you, you say natural selection. That's the answer, all right? He went on a Galapagos Island, I think. You know what I'm saying? I still got a little bit of social studies left in me, you feel me? But we about to hop into this. Make sure y'all smash that like button, hit that sub button, head over to my Twitch down below, and let's get it.
All the advancements of modern society, people still find ways to fall through the safety nets and put themselves in danger.
Oh, my.
Some people are so
I'm trying to
dumb,
think of the
no
dumbest
amount of health
way.
and safety regulations can keep them around past their self-inflicted
Bro,
expiry
if
date.
scaling a
So
building
without
is on here,
further
bro, it's
ado,
got to be on
let's
here.
marvel at the
Falling off a
unfortunate souls
building.
who selected themselves out of the gene pool. Winning a posthumous
Delete it from the
award
gene
in the
pool, bro.
process.
Delete them from the gene pool.
Geocaching out.
All right, let's
For
see.
those with a love for the activity, geocaching is a great way to get outdoors and put their exploration skills to the test. The rules are simple. Use some form of GPS alongside other navigational techniques to find hidden geotag containers in the great outdoors. Once the container is found, you sign the logbook inside and hide it ready for the next geocacher to find. Sounds enjoyable, but
What?
for 4 geocachers in the Czech Republic in 2018, their lack of common sense turned fun into
Oh my God,
fatalities.
here we go, here we go.
According to reports, weather warnings of storms and torrential rains weren't enough to stop this group heading out on their exploration.
I mean,
which
rain
wouldn't
ain't
be
that
so
bad, bro.
Had their destination not been this extremely long underground waterway. I wouldn't even go in there in the sunshine. But the group still ventured in, and when the storm pushed a huge wave through the tunnel, the extent of their mistake quickly became apparent. While 2 of the
Why would you go through a sewage system when it's raining? What are you doing? They deserve it, bro. Look, y'all know on this channel, you deserve it. Okay, if you did it, you deserve it, bro. Darwin,
survived
come
being
get him.
Swept down the tunnel. The other 2 weren't so lucky. Carried away into a powerful river, they soon drowned and were later found washed up along the shoreline. Worst of all, they never found the geocache. Going on a treacherous trip like that, they should have known they were taking a one-way path to geocaching out.
What are you doing?
Corona Kiss. If you're a normal, sensible person, you probably understand that people with infectious diseases are probably best given some space. But a man from the Indian state of Madhya Pradesh chose to reject this approach completely after he started telling people he could heal illnesses like coronavirus by kissing their hands. Unbelievably, superstitious folks.
If he gets COVID and dies, bro.
Doesn't. But with the contact between the healer's lips and countless hands, it wasn't long before, unbeknownst to him, the healer caught coronavirus. And with each hand he kissed, he unwittingly began passing the virus on to other people. Ultimately, 19 people were infected after coming into contact with the deluded healer, though they didn't have to wait long for justice to be administered. By the time the 19th person had been diagnosed, the healer had died from the virus. As far as I can tell, no amount of kissing.
That
is
man
going
gotta
to
go,
bring him
bro.
back.
He had to
And
get deleted.
hopefully nobody tries. Sanitize sipping. With all the delicious drinks available in our modern society, this next story will leave you asking,
Drinking hand
why?
sanitizer?
That's because
Oh
in June
my God.
2020, a number of people in Santa Fe, New Mexico decided to try drinking hand sanitizer. Likely as
Hold up. In the middle of a pandemic, all right, y'all didn't want to use the hand sanitizer on your hand. Y'all was just out here taking shots of it. You deserve it, okay? You deserve it.
a substitute for alcohol. Now, it goes without saying that hand sanitizer isn't good for you. But unlike most sanitizers, this particular brand happened to contain methanol, a highly toxic substance. Out of the individuals who were found to have consumed the sanitizer, one was left permanently blinded by methanol poisoning,
Oh my
3 were in
God.
critical condition, and 3 more died almost immediately. So unless you want an agonizingly painful death where your insides feel like they're on fire, opt for a tequila shot.
Look, I know there was no black people out here drinking no freaking hand sanitizer. I know it wasn't them. All right, we only got a couple other people to choose from.
Not a sanitizer.
Ain't no way.
Eccentric Taste. Ridiculous deaths are nothing new for humans. Indeed, the ability to die in a ridiculous manner seems to
Like
go
that is
beyond
not
any
smart. Why would you
particular
do that?
era.
Why
This
would
is
you do
proven by
that?
the story of one man who died on July 14th, 1908 in Goldfield, Nevada. The man, whose name remains unknown, was found dead in the street next to an empty tub of library paste. This was a type of glue-like adhesive used to bind paper and was mostly made of water and flour. Apparently being unable or unwilling to acquire an alternative food source, he tucked into the paste, eating most of it. Unfortunately, though, the bad
I thought Gorilla Glue Lady was the epitome of stupidity. Oh my God, you out here drinking paste, bruh? Glue? Oh my God, bruh.
that this fellow had fished out of a trash can appeared to have turned bad, or possibly even solidified in his body while he ate it. Not that it's advisable to consume library paste in the first place, but this guy's meal choice ultimately cost him his life.
You dug through a trash can. You ain't find no like half-eaten apples, no thrown away plates. You picked up, oh my God, oh my Jesus. You got library listen.
His
You deserve
unusual
it, bro.
demise
You
is
deserve it.
commemorated in a gravestone referred
Unknown
to
man,
by
bro.
Goldfield's locals as the Paste Eater's Grave. While truthfully, the guy was probably just super hungry, it doesn't change the fact that this is one seriously embarrassing way to be memorialized. Needing to vent. When the staff at 17th Street Market in Delhi in Knoxville, Tennessee opened up shop one morning in June 2019, they expected a day like any other. However, when they turned the in-store stove on, ready for the day's hot
blew
food,
up.
they never expected the screaming that began coming from inside the building's ventilation duct. When police arrived soon after, they were able to figure out who the source of the screams were. It turned out a heavily intoxicated man had climbed onto the store's roof the night before and attempted to climb down the vent and into the store.
This man, bro.
Horrifyingly, the vent proved to be too small to fit through, and he became thoroughly wedged. When the morning crew came into work and started the cooker, the heat transferred up the vent, making the metal walls incredibly hot. By the time the police pulled him out, he was already badly burnt and unconscious.
All right.
Expired in the hospital a few days later.
Okay, I can't blame him. He's the least dumb one that we've had so far. Because at least he was trying to hit a lick. He just didn't, like, get the spacing in the vent correct. All right, he was trying to hit a lick, bro. So, he didn't deserve it, all right? I mean, he deserved it. He was trying to break in, but he ain't not as dumb as some of these other
Whatever's
people,
waiting
bro.
for him on the other side, at least it can't be much worse than the way he went out. Spray paint pariah. You don't have to be smart to be a criminal, but it certainly helps if you're planning to stay alive for a while. But smarts were not the strong suit of a man from South Carolina who robbed a Sprint phone shop back in 2009.
With some spray
Moments
paint?
Before the robbery took place, the man spray painted the entirety of his face in an attempt at a disguise. Naturally, there's a reason robbers tend to favor balaclavas and masks over this unique approach. Neither of those two other
So instead of putting a mask on, you decided to join the Blue Man Group. What is you doing? My man said, forget it. If I get caught, I'm going to become one of the Blue Men from Las Vegas show. This fam is tripping.
options are lethal to breathe in. And while the burglary itself went off without a hitch, the spray-painted robber began having trouble breathing once it was over. Before long, he was dead, having been choked out by the noxious paint fumes.
He didn't even make it to the
obvious, but
robbery.
If you're getting your robbery fashion tips from this guy, you're asking for trouble. Final trick. If you ever find yourself inclined to make the claim that you're immortal, you should think twice before attempting to prove it. If you don't, you might end up like one psychic medium from Chiang Mai, Thailand. His downfall came during an attempt to carry out so-called proof that he couldn't be killed by plunging a sword into his chest. Now, it transpired that he'd performed this supposedly supernatural feat a
he
number of
deserves
times
it,
before
okay?
and had made it out alive. But that was only because he was actually a big phony and used swords that were designed to break on impact. making it appear like his skin couldn't be pierced. But when he tried the trick again in April 2017, the weapon failed to break and instead penetrated straight into his chest. Unsurprisingly, the human body doesn't tend to appreciate that sort of thing, and he died shortly after in the hospital, making both his fakery and stupidity public all at once.
Facts.
At least he didn't have to face the embarrassment, I guess. Fashion no-no. Now, it should obviously be commonly accepted that women can wear whatever makes them feel good. But for one Taiwanese woman in 2019, a slightly more practical outfit would undoubtedly have led to a different outcome than the one she met. Known online as the Bikini Hiker, the 36-year-old made a name for herself hiking mountains around Taiwan wearing only bikinis. While her outfits may have been great for the beach, they don't offer the protection of...
This was in 2018. She missed her shot. OnlyFans was right around the corner. You could have been one of the most lucrative women in the world, but you decided to die. That's tough.
Standard climbing clothes, something the bikini hiker learned the hard way on several occasions. But the grazes to her legs she sustained after a tumble in 2018 were nothing compared to the fall she took in January the next year.
Oh, so
hiking alone in Yushan National Park in the snowy coldness of winter, she fell down a ravine and was unable to climb out. She called for help on her satellite phone, but poor weather caused delays in the rescue, and by the time help arrived, she was frozen to death. It goes to show,
that's
if you
tough.
Get online
that's
attention,
tough.
Try to avoid doing something with a high risk of becoming a human ice cube, unless you're the real ice cube, of course. No stealing. When some people leave this mortal coil, they leave behind a mystery so bizarre, it truly does seem stranger than fiction. Like when a resident of Calhoun County, Alabama, spotted a skull in their front yard in 2019. Initially, it was unclear County, Alabama, spotted a... Truly does seem stranger than fiction. Like when a resident of Calhoun County, Alabama...
Why does he say Calhoun County, Alabama? Alabama is down here. This is Michigan. Listen. Sound like my narrator need a Darwin Award, boy.
Spotted a skull in their front yard in 2019. Initially, it was unclear where it had come from, until a burnt to a crisp headless body was found at the bottom of a utility pole, badly decomposed, a fifth of a mile away. Though initially baffled, the police soon put the puzzle pieces together, revealing the utterly crazy truth. The man had been attempting to illegally wire up his home to the street's electricity to get it for free. Unfortunately, though, he didn't seem to have the first clue what he was doing, nor did he understand how dangerous playing around with power lines was. At some point during the attempt, the man made contact with the live wire, shocking himself to death. But how did his head end up so far down the road? Here's the weirdest part of all.
Woo!
The neighbor who discovered the skull claimed his dog has dragged it there, apparently having torn it from the electricity-fried body. Pretty shocking, right? Pain for fame. In the world of online entertainment, it takes a lot of work to make great content and get it seen by as many people as possible. Trust me, I know. And sometimes you have to take risks to reap the rewards. But one Spanish YouTuber tried to reach too high
here we go.
by taking a risk that most definitely didn't pay off. Breaking into a cement factory in the dead of night with a friend, the YouTuber hoped to kick up his numbers from the 6 subscribers he had with an extreme stunt. While
6 subscribers. Oh my goodness. Let's bow our head and close our eyes. Let's pray for those. I mean, he could have blew up from this video, though. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even going.
While wearing a parachute, he climbed to the top of a 165-foot
L's,
tower.
Boy,
and when
L's.
the moment was right, he jumped. But disaster struck as he realized his parachute wasn't opening. With nothing he could do, his friend watched on in horror as the reckless attempt at online recognition...
He's still recording!
Ouch.
Oh my
the
gosh.
YouTuber didn't survive, so obviously that's not a good way to get subscribers. But if you're interested in learning more about how to avoid
why am I laughing? That's not funny, bro.
Subscribing to Be Amazed is the best way
Facts.
to do it.
Hit that sub
With
button,
daily
hit that like
content
button.
and regular updates to the Darwin Award series you're currently watching, I guarantee you won't regret it. Sting operation. In life, some of the things we assume are universally understood to be bad ideas are occasionally
that is
seen
a
as
terrible
great
idea
ideas by the dimmer folk among us. Like how if I were to ask you to swallow a mouthful of Wasp Spray, you'd probably think I'd lost my mind. But in 2019, Boone County, West Virginia saw the rise of an alarming trend. People had begun using Wasp Spray as an intoxicant, and it turned out to be about as safe as you'd expect. while some reports emerged of mild
People, oh my, look, you can, bro, a bottle of alcohol is like $20. That Wasp Spray, I'm pretty sure, is at least like $16, bro. Why are you using it to get intoxicated? Just go get you some Tito's, bro. Call it a day. Get some Tito's, some Smirnoff, something cheap, some champagne. I'm losing faith in humanity, bro. I'm losing it. I'm losing it.
milder symptoms after use, including extreme swelling and redness of the hands and feet, as well as erratic behavior. Other cases were more serious.
I wish my friend would walk up to me and be like, "Hey, bro, listen, you trying to get lit tonight? Oh yeah. What you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? I got this new stuff, bro. It's gonna get us super lit. I'm gonna tell him, listen, bro, I only did cocaine once. I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? I only did cocaine once, bro. What we doing? We about to take this Wasp Spray. Boy, listen, I'm climbing to the top rope and jumping off with my elbow, bro. He deserves it. You must be deleted. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just let him do the Wasp Spray.
Serious. 3 people died after the harmful spray triggered allergic reactions following repeated usages, proving to whoever was too dumb to see it before. You don't inhale Wasp Spray.
Facts.
Shouldn't that be obvious? GoKart Departure. When you think of motor racing accidents, you probably picture high-speed sports cars flipping over a load of times and exploding. But as this next story proves, not all demises on the track are so morbidly mesmerizing to behold. One night in August 2019 at the Showtime Speedway in Florida, 2 people snuck in and started racing around the track in go-karts. But while zooming along, one of the rookie racers failed to spot a guardrail across the lane he was driving in, and he crashed into it at full speed. Wearing no helmet and with no safety harness on his go-kart, he took the full force of the impact and was later declared dead in the hospital. As far as badass ways to die go, death by go-kart has to be last place over the finish line. Taking a tumble. Sometimes generally smart people
I'm telling
make
you,
incredibly
bruh.
stupid decisions. And in the case of one Philadelphia medical student, one awful decision came at an extremely high price. For reasons unknown, the student had decided it'd be a good idea to jump between the rooftops around his apartment in the northern side of the
I
city.
will never understand
But
this,
after
bro.
several
Never,
successful
never.
jumps, his luck ran out. On his final leap, he came up short and fell 2 stories to the ground below. Though the fall might have seemed survivable from afar, he hit his head on the way down, which proved fatal almost immediately. The unfortunate incident provides an important lesson.
Why they have my
It
man
doesn't
jumping
always
like
take
that, bro?
climbing from 160 feet for a fall to be fatal, and making the foolish decision to mess around at even a slight elevation can prove fatal. You'd
That's
think
tough.
A medical student would know this, but perhaps he hadn't reached the jumping across rooftops part of the course yet. 'Tis only a flesh wound. Some people love to live life on the edge, like these guys who captured themselves performing a practice known as
Listen. These 2 gentlemen on the floor.
practice known
There is no reason. None. All right, hold on. Where we at?
captured themselves.
Hold up. These men right there. Why? You got the water bottles right there to prove it. I am not sitting on the ground in between no 2-ton killing machine. Oh my God. Why do they have to do this, bro? Why?
Performing a practice known as car skiing, whereby a car turns sharply at speed, allowing it to drive on 2 wheels. 2 of them even made the brazenly stupid decision to lie in the road during the stunt. While these fellows will likely meet a deadly end if they keep it up, their love of risk-taking hasn't caught up with them yet. But in August 2019, one Brazilian man's disastrously dumb, drunken risk-taking did indeed catch up to him. When he and his friends stumbled across an orange snake with white and black stripes,
Oh, my
instead of heeding
God.
nature's natural color warning, they did the opposite. With the misplaced confidence only excessive drinking can afford, the man picked up the snake in his bare hands and waved it around, mocking the creature. Reportedly, this was normal behavior for the man, and something he'd often be seen doing after a few too many beverages. But the reptile would have the last laugh.
You
because
deserve
just
it.
so happened to be a coral snake, one of the most venomous species in the world. Eventually, it decided enough was enough and bit the man on the hand. At first, he laughed it off and continued to hold the snake, but mere moments later, he was on the ground fighting for his life as the
R.I.P..
venom made its way around his body. By the time he made it to the emergency room, it was already too late. I don't know what they taught this guy in school, but I can tell you one thing. First-hand experience is absolutely not the best way of learning about how
Facts.
snake venom works.
Baby Rizzy
Don't
was
make a
good.
scene. For many
Smell like
people who
tin cans
done
and bounce
to them
that
in
at.
life, there's often a turning point at which they begin to seek redemption. On the other side of the coin, some people are total pieces of work right up until their final moments. Like one unpleasant man from Cornamont, France, whose drunken plan to hassle the customers and staff of a kebab restaurant one evening in May
Jay was
2019
good.
proved a fatal mistake. After shouting obscenities, insults, and threats at the people in the restaurant, he proceeded to punch through the front window, severely injuring himself in the process.
Goofus,
His
boy,
lacerations
goofus.
were so bad that within minutes he was on the floor, quickly growing pale. But even as his final moments of consciousness slowly faded away, he continued his barrage of verbal abuse of the people around him. Going out with a bang is a desire for many people, but I wonder how many hope that bang's followed by the smashing of glass and a dictionary's worth of swear words.
That's
And
crazy.
Swear words at that. Sacre bleu.
I don't know what my
Great
man
problem.
just said right there, boy.
It's a very real fear for many people that one day they'll bend over and their pants will split from having gained too much weight, or that a chair will collapse when they sit on it. Of course, neither of those are necessarily fatal, but what one unfortunate Canadian
And look, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was at a 4th of July cookout one time. A lady walked in that I did not like. All right, she was a little bit, you know what I'm saying, one of those. And she sat down on one of them plastic chairs, the white ones. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She sat on one of them white plastic chairs and that joint broke. Listen, it is disrespectful how much I laughed in her face. It's crazy, bruh.
tourist experienced in his final moments in Chiang Mai, Thailand can be described as true fatal embarrassment. Disaster struck for the Canadian when he attempted to ride a zipline across a forested creek. While the recommended max weight for zipliners at the spot was 275 pounds, the man reportedly weighed upwards of 300 pounds. It remains uncertain whether he disclosed his full weight or whether the organizers decided to turn a blind eye to his obesity.
My man snapped the
Regardless, the outcome proved a man of his size should never have been allowed to take the plunge. That's because the moment he leapt from the platform, the rope and safety locks pulled tight and immediately broke, sending him plummeting 160 feet into the forest below. As you can imagine, it was far from a soft landing and ultimately proved fatal. Of course, the accident wasn't entirely this man's fault. There was clearly some serious negligence on the part of the people running the zip.
Hey, look, if you're in a country that's not America, that isn't like listen. If you zip line, be prepared. They don't got the same safety regulations we got here. They told, bro, I went zip lining in Mexico. They gave us a stick to stop with, okay? We're like 6 stories in the sky. We jump on the zip line. They give you a stick that's shaped of an L, right? Like an L, so you can pull it down and stop it. I'm just letting y'all know.
But there's no denying being obese.
You said they set him up.
And fall to your death
Facts.
is one of the most humiliating ends imaginable.
He was probably talking all types of trash too.
It doesn't take a genius to know that mixing flammable compounds together without understanding the effects is an outrageously dumb idea. But
Facts.
Unfortunately, that realization never occurred for one man from New Zealand back in 2018. In an attempt to improve the efficiency of his metal welding setup, the man decided to try his hand at a little chemistry. Modifying a gas container, he attempted to mix oxygen with acetylene, a highly flammable gas. Usually, these two are kept in separate containers. Though, of course, that doesn't keep them completely safe when there are fate tempters like this around. But in the case of the New Zealand welder, his DIY redesigned container meant that the usual measures for controlling gas flow and stopping too much oxygen being added were absent. This meant that when he attached a welding torch to the container and sparked her up, boom. In a flash, the shed
That's
he
tough.
was working in was flattened to the ground and he was killed in the explosion. Rule number 1 of explosive compounds? Don't use them as your personal chemistry experiment.
Who we got next?
Questionable cure. If someone commanded you to guzzle down a mouthful of bleach, you'd probably throw it right back in their face. But unfortunately, religion can make people do some crazy things in the name of faith, as demonstrated by a disturbing
Why my man out here drowning babies, bruh? Why? Listen. Uh-oh.
stupid event that occurred in Zambia in 2019.
The heart of Africa. Look, y'all guys out here looking bad, all right? Listen. The people who drink the Wasp Spray, way worse, bro. But if you down in
At a particularly faith-focused church, the congregants gathered one April day for what they assumed would be a normal service. But soon their clergyman, who referred to himself as a prophet of God, proposed a new way of purging his congregation of their demons, insisting it would be...
He don't like them, bro. He wanted to kill them. They wasn't putting enough in the offering plate. He said, y'all must go.
In an act of faith, he commanded his followers to drink from a bottle of bleach. And with the pressure of their faith overpowering any senses of reason or self-preservation, an alarming number of the congregants drank up right on command. As a result of blindly following...
He had Shorty on her knees just slurping it up. Boy, come on, bro. Look, listen, they all want to meet their maker, and their pastor sent them all right to him, okay? Sent him to heaven's front gate, all right?
By all means, appeared to be insane. 27 of the churchgoers died.
Crazy.
Another 18 were put in critical condition. The lesson here is clear. If your local spiritual leader asks you to do something...
Bro, I know.
Know where to stick it. Call the police and find yourself a new way to worship.
The town had to riot on that man, bro.
Products.
They had to.
Angle grinder investigation. If on your travels you found a metal object that looked kind of like a bomb, you'd probably get as far away from it as possible, right? Well, when one man from the Polva municipality of Estonia stumbled across an old rusted cylinder that looked remarkably like an artillery shell, he failed to make the connection. Instead, his curiosity was piqued, and he nonchalantly picked the object up and took it home for investigation. But rather than taking the utmost care to avoid triggering the thing, his seemingly total unawareness of what it might be led him to...
Oh my God. Hey, we have a gene pool deletion right here, ladies and gentlemen. What? Oh, it was on the news in Jamaica? That's crazy. I ain't hear nothing about that, but that's...
a much more invasive approach. Firing up his angle grinder, the man set to work on cutting the thing open to see what was inside. But seeing as the object was indeed a bomb from a war of the past, the inside became the outside very quickly. Because it exploded, killing the man. The phrase "curiosity killed the cat" comes to mind.
Facts.
Though I don't imagine the person who coined that phrase envisioned the cat being killed in a fiery explosion. But then again, cats don't tend to make the
GG's in the chat for that man, boy.
With angle grinders.
Big GG's.
That kind of stupidity is reserved solely for us humans. Have you encountered any tales of people removing themselves from the gene pool in spectacularly stupid ways?
Listen. We had some gene pool deletions that had to happen in this video, bro. It had to happen. Be amazed. They got some nice. I like this content. You know what I'm saying? I like this content. We're gonna have to check out some more of these. They drop videos every day. This is kind of like infographics. I watch infographics. This is kind of like that, but I like that. But View Crew at home, make sure y'all smash that like button, hit that sub button. I'm about to chill with the stream team a little bit. Probably body some of them in Among Us a little bit later. But y'all head over to my Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Do all of that. But make sure y'all hit the sub button most importantly. Okay? We out of here.